So the movie starts with his brother and sister, Darry and Trish, driving down a super empty highway. They're heading home from college for vacation. Trish is in a bad mood, so to cheer up, Darry starts this dorky license plate game where they make words out of the letters. It's kind of cute. He spots one and guesses fever, but Trish just smiles and is like, nope, it says forever. So he loses. But then, out of nowhere, this huge, rusted-out truck comes flying up behind them, honking like a total maniac. They get freaked out and pull over to let it pass. As it roars by, they see its license plate. And get this, it says beating you. Like be eating you. So creepy, right? Trish totally panics. She tells Darry the story about how a couple of kids from her school vanished on this exact highway 23 years ago. People said it was an accident, but their bodies were never even found. Darry's like, relax, that's just a spooky story they tell to keep kids from driving drunk. He's not buying it. A little later, they're driving along and they pass this old abandoned church. And what do they see parked there? The exact same truck. And then they see the driver, this big, shadowy figure in a long coat and a hat. And he's throwing these big sheet-wrap bundles down a massive pipe next to the church. It looks an awful lot like he's dumping bodies. And then the worst part? The driver looks up and sees them watching him. They totally peel out of there, but the truck is right on their tail. It's a full-on chase. Trish is trying to call the police, but of course her phone battery is dead. The truck is gaining on them at like bullet speed, and then bam, it just slams into the back of their car, sending them spinning off the road into a field. Luckily, they're not hurt, but the car is pretty messed up. Darry does this quick fix on the hood with a piece of cloth, and then he says the craziest thing. He's like, we have to go back to that church. Trish is like, are you completely insane? No way. We need to get to the next town and call the cops. But Darry keeps pushing. He's like, but what if someone is down there and needs our help? What if that guy was throwing a person down that pipe, and somehow this actually convinces her? You'd think they would learn. So they drive back to the creepy old church and find the pipe. It stinks, like something is rotting down there. They peek in, but it's too dark to see anything. Just as they're about to leave, they hear this weird moaning sound coming from inside the pipe. Hearing that, Darry tells his sister to grab a flashlight from the car. He's going in, and Trish is just standing there begging him not to do it. Total disaster.
Darry goes into the pipe. He's like, hold my feet so he can lean in and see what's making the noise. But just as he's looking, a bunch of rats swarm out, and he screams. Trish freaks out and loses her grip, and whoosh, Darry falls all the way down into the darkness. He's fine, though. He lands at the bottom and tells his sister he's okay. And then he sees it, a body wrapped in a sheet. He nervously goes over to it, but then the body suddenly grabs him. He's totally panicked, but manages to pull the sheet away. It's this young guy, and he's still alive. He's pointing at his stomach, trying to say something. When Darry pulls the sheet off his stomach, he sees that it's been cut open and then stitched back together. It's so messed up. The truck driver clearly took his organs. The kid tries to speak one last time, but then just dies right there. Darry is completely terrified. He yells up to Trish to get help, then starts looking for a way out. And what he finds is a total house of horrors. The whole place is filled with antique weapons and needles and thread, like a weird workshop. As he's tying his shoe, something drips on him from the ceiling. He looks up, and the entire ceiling is covered in bodies. Hundreds of them, all stitched together and stuck to the walls. He even sees the two kids Trish told him about from 23 years ago. It's a total nightmare. Meanwhile, Trish is waiting by the road trying to flag someone down. She sees truck headlights and panics, thinking it's him, but it's just a different truck. Then suddenly, Darry bursts out of the basement, scaring her half to death. They jump in the car and speed off. Trish is like, what did you see down there? And Darry, completely shaken, just says, that story you told me? It was all real. They finally make it to a diner. As they pull in, they see the creepy truck heading back towards the church. Inside, Trish asks to use the phone to call the cops. She's trying to calm Darry down when a payphone next to them starts ringing. They pick it up, and this weird lady on the other end is just like, danger is coming for you. Darry cusses her out and hangs up. The police finally show up, and they tell them everything. The bodies, the church, the threatening call. The cops are totally skeptical. Then the diner owner runs in and says someone's messing with their car. They all go outside and find their car doors open and all their clothes thrown on the ground. The owner's like, this weird guy was just sniffing your clothes. As the cops are checking the car, they find these huge claw marks on the door handle. Trish keeps hearing this weird flapping sound like huge wings. She feels like she's being watched. The cops finally agree to escort them and check out the church. So now they're all driving in a convoy, the cops in front, Darry and Trish behind. Suddenly, the cops hear a huge thump on the roof of their car. The policewoman leans out the window to look, and something just yanks her out. The other cop tries to save her, but a massive hand just smashes through the roof, grabs him by the head, and pulls him out too. Then something heavy lands on Darry and Trish's windshield. They slam on the brakes and see the police car, completely wrecked. And what fell on their car? It's the cop's severed head. And then the killer steps out of the police car. He's not human. He's this thing. He calmly picks up the severed head, brings it to his face, and just sniffs it. Darry is frozen.
Trish is driving like a maniac. They spot a house up ahead and pull over, desperate for help. This old lady who lives there comes out, and Trish is like, please, can we use your phone to call the police? The old lady has like 1 million cats. But then the power goes out, and she gets all suspicious. She asks, did you two bring someone with you? Just then, they all look out at her field and see a scarecrow that wasn't there before. The old lady knows it's not hers, so she grabs a shotgun and just starts blasting away at it. But the scarecrow just spreads these huge leathery wings and flies up onto her roof. It crashes into the house. The old lady runs inside after it, trying to save her cats, and then they hear a single gunshot. A second later, the front door creaks open, and the old lady stumbles out dead with the creature, the creeper, right behind her. It's the first time they get a really good look at it, and it's terrifying. They scramble back to the car, but of course it won't start. The creeper jumps right onto the hood. Trish finally gets the car in reverse and floors it, throwing the creeper off. Then with it standing right in front of them, she slams on the gas and just runs it over, again and again and again. She's completely losing it, trying to make sure it's dead. Darry has to pull her off. They finally make it to the police station. They call their parents and lie, telling them everything is fine. Darry sees a whole wall of missing posters and realizes just how many people have vanished from this area. And then the psychic lady from the diner walks in. She calls them by name. She's like, I'm the one who called you. I have dreams. I know what's going to happen. Then she spills the beans. That thing isn't a man. It's a monster. It wakes up every 23 years to feed. Just then, all the lights in the police station go out. One of the cops goes to check the holding cells and finds the creeper in there just eating one of the prisoners. He opens fire, but the bullets do nothing. Meanwhile, the psychic lady is telling Trish and Darry, I had a dream. One of you is screaming. It's going to take one of you. A whole bunch of cops show up, ready for a fight. They send a team down a hallway to find the monster, but the creeper just picks them off one by one, even ripping one cop's heart out. Then it bursts into the room where Trish and Darry are hiding. It grabs the psychic lady and sniffs her, but lets her go. It wants one of them. It sniffs Trish, then moves past her and grabs Darry. It found what it was looking for in him. Trish starts screaming, no, take me, let him go, take me instead. The creeper just looks at her for a second, then it spreads its wings, smashes through the window, and just flies off into the night with Darry in its claws. Trish runs out, watching helplessly as it carries her brother away. And the final shot of the movie, we're back in the creeper's creepy church basement. We see Darry's body has been added to the collection on the wall, but there's one thing missing. The creeper has taken his eyes, and the movie just ends right there. So messed up.